it was at that point, it hit me different. Like, I realized, like, bro, like, I first went to prison when I was 15, and now I'm coming out when I'm 30. And it was like, yeah, nah, this is not making sense. Like, God's got a plan for me, and yeah, like, this is not it.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Life After Prison with Jules. Today's guest is Isaiah James, also known as Resilient Lion. He spent years in and out of prison, starting at the age of 15, and was deep in gang life, thinking this was his only path available. But during his last sentence, something shifted. He found faith, got serious about fitness, and started focusing on self-development to change his life. Since coming out, he's launched Freedom Through Fitness, spoken and done workshops in prisons, and recently ran around every single prison in London. Welcome to the Life After Prison couch, Isaiah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Good. We're going to start with this run around London because, this is quite big and very exciting. Please talk to us about what inspired this run.
I'd basically say this run was to celebrate freedom, breaking the cycle of reoffending. Like you explained, I've been in and out of prison for years. So I did come home last year, April, and the run was obviously held this year, April. So it was 1 year of being free. And I planned this with a good friend of mine who is also a co-founder of Freedom Through Fitness. His name's Connor. He also done a very long sentence and came out a few days after me. We never knew each other in prison. We met up after through a good friend. And we thought, let's just do something to show people, like, look, the cycle can be broken. Like, everyone's so fussed about celebrating freedom, about going to the club and doing all of that stuff. Obviously, we changed our life through fitness, so we was going to make that the focal point. And it was never to like kind of showboat or prove how fit we are, even though it was a long distance that was covered, 60 kilometers. Did
you do this? You did it in one kind of stretch?
Yeah, one stretch. We did make pit stops at every prison.
60K, compare that to like a half marathon or marathon. How long?
So it was officially classed as an ultra marathon because anything over 42 kilometers, which is a full marathon, is basically an ultra marathon.
Oh, wow.
It's like basically a marathon and a half.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How many people were there?
That
did it?
Yeah, when we kind of broadcasted that we were doing this, it was kind of a spare of the moment thing. Wasn't too much build up of it. And we wanted everyone to kind of take part in it who has obviously changed their life through fitness and been to prison, and also like for members of the public, should I say, fitness community who's also been impacted by a friend or family going to prison to take part. I believe like around 10 of us completed it. Roughly 20 people started from Wormwood Scrubs. And some people joined us from different prisons. So like a few people from the 826 active running community met us from Pentonville, and they ran with us to Wandsworth. So it was a thrilling experience. Honestly, it was a good time.
I did actually follow the journey on. Well, I've got you on socials. I've got somebody else, 2 other people that did it with you on socials as well. So I definitely followed it. What was your reaction from people? Like, I know it kind of blew up on socials as well. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, it definitely went viral for sure. It wasn't the plan to actually go so viral. The blog pages jumped onto it. Like, I'm Just Bae, they reposted it.
I was trying to remember which.
Yeah,
who it was, but I'm Just Bae.
Link Up TV posted it. Obviously, it was like established as a historic sort of thing because it's never been done before. I've had media outlets such as the BBC, ITV speak to me and try to understand our purpose behind it. And then we had like a brief interview with Metro, which they reposted on their page, on their platform. So yeah, it was cool to just, kind of get our real mission statement behind the run, because like, for some people, like, could be thinking, did they do it to take the piss? Like, what was the real reason behind it? So I'm really happy we was able to express that.
Well, yeah, I think what you said earlier about like presenting the freedom and the accomplishment of being out, like congratulations for like a year, doing it through something like this actually means something, and it reminds you of, the strength you've got and why you're doing this and where you want to go. And I think that's really powerful. How did it feel running past the prisons? Like when you actually run past them?
Yeah, like I remember when we obviously left from Wormwood Scrubs, got to the Ville, and like I was seeing circle buses coming in and out, and there was obviously prisoners in there, and they were like banging their windows.
You're literally getting reminded of it every time you pass a prison.
I've been in their shoes, I've been in that sweatbox, and then like, just arriving at each prison it was overwhelming, but like, like there was a real purpose behind it. And I feel like, honestly, like that was the longest distance I've ever run to date. A lot of people as well, like, never ran that far. So like there was conviction behind it. And I think that's what got everyone through. And like, the moral support was great. We had like people that were just following us on the bike, just like encouraging us. Like, it was an emotional time.
Well done. I mean, I think it definitely made a statement, and it's important because we got to keep talking about it, right? Let's take it back to when you were 15 and that was your first prison sentence, right?
Yeah.
What is a mindset of a 15-year-old going to prison? What is that like?
Yeah, definitely scary, getting remanded for the first time, realizing that, okay, you're not going back home. Just thinking about it, it's kind of overwhelming. But when I obviously arrived into the young offenders institution and I was surrounded by a lot of other young kids, it kind of brought my nerves down. And like, we were all obviously in this situation, which was stressful, but like we're full of energy at that age. So we're just thriving off that.
How did life affect you being 15 going to prison?
Yeah, that was that changed like the trajectory in regards to the route that I was going. It was a difficult time because that was the summer of my GCSEs and I missed out on it. So like it was a time where I just kind of gave up on like thinking that, I'd make it to uni, like follow a professional career, like become successful in that sense. I just felt like, okay, this is it now. Like, I'm 2 feet in. I've gone to prison. Like, this is my life now, and I just embraced it from that moment on. As well as I said, like being around other people, it just it kind of normalized it.
So, life before prison at 15, what was that like for you? What kind of things were you doing and involved in?
Yeah, so when I was, I'd say, in primary school, I was very into sports. Like, I was a very athletic kid. I was the fastest kid in my borough, really good at football, always in like the newspapers, being highlighted for scoring hat tricks, etc., etc. But coming from like, how can I say, a broken home, my parents split up around those times, and it was a tough period for me, and I had anger issues, and they ended up like flowing into school, and I used to get in trouble, expelled, and then like, because of my behavior in school, it kind of blocked me from like going down the academy route, because they were like, yeah, like, you're naughty, like, we're not going to take you on. And that's when like they stopped me from being part of the athletics team and the football team. So that kind of demotivated me. And then like, going into secondary school, and then like obviously moving to a new neighborhood, should I say, which was poverty-driven or highly involved in crime. And then I ended up looking up to like older figures because I used to be outside a lot. I didn't really like being at home because of the issues that were going on there. And then like being outside just leads to obviously being influenced by the wrong people because like, yeah, my parents are not there to hold my hand anymore, you know?
What actually ended you up in prison? What was it for?
It was a robbery.
Okay.
Yeah, so like that was like, as a young person, young boy, that was like my first sort of like exposure to criminal activity. Like a lot of people were doing it, a lot of young people were doing it in my area. So I kind of just jumped on the bandwagon, should I say.
Okay. And how long was that for?
That was 6 months to 3.
Okay. So your mindset now at 15, having gone inside, you said that was kind of it. That was your journey, right? And that was just, you fixated on that.
Yeah.
How did things kind of unravel then after that sentence?
Yeah. So like I was the first kid in my neighborhood to like out of my age group go to prison. So like when I came out and during that time like I hit the weights for the first time. So I came out with a little size and I was glorified. You know, like literally like I was rated. So like that was a buzz. And it was like, you know, like, remember I was good at football. I was really into athletics and I was always respected and rated in that space. So then like feeling that sense of that same feeling, it's like, okay, like, oh, like I'm cool. Like this is it. This is cool. This is lit. And then like, obviously probation pushed me to go into college, even though I never had GCSEs. I started a BTEC level 1 in diploma in sports and leisure. So like, I was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but like obviously the issues around my area with like the gang culture intensified. People were getting stabbed from my area, from opposing areas. And obviously naturally being from the area, like it is what it is. And then, yeah, like it kind of led to my next conviction, which one day I was coming back from college. And yeah, because of the time, like it was very intense with feuds. Like my mindset was, okay, like I got to carry a knife to protect myself. So I do understand like why knife crime still kind of continues today around with young people. It's not right, but yeah, again, it's all based on the mindset. And on my way coming back from college, and obviously there was kids from an opposing area. They knew my route, and there was like, yeah, they tried to ambush me. There was like 20 of them waiting for me at a bus stop. And like they ran on the bus, like coming to attack me, and it all happened so fast. Don't really remember too much. Like it was a blur, but yeah, I did end up stabbing one of them, and I ended up getting charged and getting sent to prison for GBH, section 20, with intent. And obviously, coming closer to the court case, my thing was self-defense, right? Like you could clearly see through the CCTV a group of youths covered up with weapons coming to attack me. Crazy thing is the victim like kind of played it out as he was innocent. I don't think he predicted like CCTV would come into effect, but he just basically played it out as he was just hopping onto the bus and I randomly attacked him. So when everything came out at the trial, the jury ended up finding me guilty for GBH section 20 without intent. They deemed obviously me stabbing someone was excessive force, which is understandable. Because yeah, it's not acceptable at the end of the day. So yeah, and then I ended up getting 12 months to 6 for that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was 17 at the time.
And then from then to your last sentence, which is a little bit further on.
Yeah.
What was going on? What was the mindset like? Yeah, up until the last sentence.
So yeah, like going to prison at that time when I was 17 years old, again, it was another crazy experience. I was surrounded by a lot of young people again, and not everyone, majority were in for gang violence, whether that be a crime as GBH as I faced, or as like serious as murder. So again, like it became a period of like normalization where it's just like, okay, this is normal. It is what it is.
How many times did you go in and out? Do you know how long you did in total?
Yeah, throughout my time, 7.5 years. Okay. So like, yeah, after I came out from that incident where I served time for GBH Section 20, I came out and like, I think I lasted like 6 months, and then I went back in for a robbery again. And then that's when I served 3 years, do 18 months. And then I came back out when I was like 20. And yeah, like during, like after that period, like my early 20s, I would say like, okay, like I was in and out for like since 15, like it was a back-to-back phase. So I thought like, whoa, this is getting too much now. And I kind of like looked for a way out because I didn't really want to go back to prison, obviously. And I ended up working for a company, which was based around Forex trading. And I, like around that time, Forex trading was like, it was popping, you know, like, and it was selling that lifestyle, you know, where it's like, okay, financial freedom. But like after being in it for like over a year or so, a good friend of mine kind of broke it down to me and explained it was a pyramid scheme. Don't know if you've heard like much about pyramid schemes, but essentially like there was never a chance that I was going to be a chairman, because like no matter how hard you work, the person above you, the people above you, should I say, are going to keep rising, because like basically every time I enroll someone, it benefits the person that is on top of me that initially enrolled me. So it's like a long chain. So like they're actually illegal. Like it's actually like, yeah, like the company was like, I think they were officially like registered in some dodgy island. So yeah, like, once I realized that situation was what it was, it disheartened me, and like, yeah, I kind of fell back into my old ways. I had like peers that obviously were making money through like organized crime, et cetera. So like, yeah, I kind of got back into that realm, that world, and like, yeah, started to like thrive, I guess, in that space, yeah.
Until your last sentence?
Until my last sentence, yeah.
Which was when?
Which was officially in 2021. And like, it was an accumulation of charges. So one of them was like even leading back to 2017, which was causing serious injury by dangerous driving. And I was on bail for 3 years. And then like, yeah, ended up getting charged in 2020. And then in 2021, ended up getting caught for another string of charges, which was possession with intent to sell Class B and money laundering. So I got remanded at that point. So I had like all these charges on my head. And like, that's when I knew like, yeah, judgment's reached. Like.
So what was it about that last sentence that actually changed your mindset?
Yeah, so once I got remanded, I was 27, like I was at that point, okay, got to put my hands up, got to take some form of accountability now, I'm going to plead guilty to everything. And I knew I was looking at a substantial amount of years. Like my barrister was telling me, looking at like 8, 9, worst case. And then I ended up, I pled guilty, and like the procedure was quick, was sentenced after like a few weeks after being remanded, and I received 6 years due 3. And then I realized I'm coming out when I was 30. And then like, it was at that point, it hit me different. Like I realized like, bro, like I first went to prison when I was 15, and now I'm coming out when I'm 30. And it was like, yeah, nah, this is not making sense. Like God's got a plan for me, and yeah, like this is not it. But hindsight, looking back, I guess everything I went through has made me who I am today, and I've turned a negative into a positive, right? But yeah, I just realized that, nah, like, this life of crime is not built for me. And like, yeah, I couldn't do it no more. And like, also realizing the years of stress and the burden I placed on my parents, you know, like them first few visits that I received when like I went in on my last sentence, like I saw pain in my parents' eyes, like that I've never seen before. It was probably there when I was 15 years old, but like, I guess I was selfish at that time. I didn't really care, like, in some sense. So like seeing the pain, like I was like, no, I can't do this to them no more. Like, enough's enough.
Did you see another way out when you were growing up before that last sentence? Did you see like that you had potential in other areas, or was it just you just didn't see that, or you didn't think it was it was gonna be bad?
I guess like in my mid-20s, I had like my group of friends were into making music. This was like early, like in the kind of like UK rap phase, and like, yeah, they were releasing music, and I kind of ended up playing a position of being a manager. And songs and like videos and tracks were released, and they were getting like 1 million views and stuff like that. So it was like, oh wow, like, okay, there's motion here, there's a route here, you know, where we could like obviously make it out and like not get involved in like criminal activity and like earn a legit income. But due to like, yeah, gang activity, like that kind of like never became what it was supposed to be, because yeah, like artists started going to prison, etc., etc. So like, yeah, it was like, damn, all right, cool, like that route's looking a bit blurry right now, because like, yeah, the police are kind of involved in what's going on behind the scenes. So yeah, like, nah, like after that, it was like, oh yeah, nah, it's definitely like 2 foot into the roles where I'm taking it there, I'm going all the way.
So your last sentence that you did, and you know, something clicked, and you had all that kind of like feelings, and you saw what your parents were going through. What were the steps that you took to actually start to change your life now? Because that's quite a long time of being in and out, and then you know you finally felt that feeling.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, as I said, it got to a point where enough was enough. I really reconnected with my faith. Obviously, I grew up in a Christian household. Growing up as a young kid, always used to go to church. And then obviously, like, once I kind of adopted that street life, moved away from faith, and like became so money orientated growing up, became so like greedy, should I say. So like, so driven to make money regardless of how I'm doing it. Not really caring about the impacts in regards to like the community and society and stuff. So like, yeah, I started to pray for a purpose, because I realized that like the street life isn't it. And like, yeah, prayed for wisdom and knowledge, you know, and asked God to like release the, how can I say, the fleshly desires of being so greedy. Like, I didn't want to like be so, yeah, hungry for money in life anymore, because it kind of drives you down a dark path. Like, as I said, you end up doing things that are way out of like your morals, or which is either like right in life, you know? So like reading the Bible kind of reconnected me with righteousness, and the blessings that come with that. And yeah, and then like naturally, that time was COVID when I first went in, and we were only allowed out for half an hour on the exercise yard. And I remember like seeing a group of like prisoners training. Like, this is the first time I actually witnessed burpees and like body weight sort of high intensity workouts. And I saw one prisoner looking like ripped, jacked. And I was like, yeah, like that's how I'm coming out. Like, and that kind of inspired me. And then like, obviously with the benefits that come with like training, especially at that time, only being allowed out for half an hour a day, like just being able to like get that feeling of like natural endorphins kicking in after a workout, and then being able to like sleep as well, sleep better at night. That really got me through the first few, I say, months, weeks of being in prison. And like, they were like how can I say, the pillars of like change for me, like faith and fitness. And like I say today, like when I speak to people, like faith strengthens the spirit and fitness strengthens the body. And you need those two in alignment to like really like become the best version of yourself.
How hard is it actually to put those actions into practice, especially in prison? What does it actually take?
Yeah, like it takes dedication, you know, it takes determination for sure. And it takes understanding, you know, like obviously like I'm in prison now, 27, in an adult prison. Okay, like I'm looking at my surroundings. I'm like seeing people with like serious mental health issues or like serious hardcore like drug issues. And like I realized like, nah, like I'm not gonna let this situation break me, you know? Yeah, like I'm gonna let it make me, you know? And like I told myself from day one, like I gotta make every day count, not count down the days. And that was kind of like, yeah, my ethos throughout my sentence. And like I locked in with education differently. Because I realized like for missing out my GCSEs and missing out on them college years and not going to uni, like, okay, if I'm gonna change, like I need to like re-educate myself or learn a skill which I can like come out and like basically make a career of and contribute to society. So like obviously the prison education system doesn't really offer much, but there are ways you can do, I guess, like some distance learning, they call it. And like I applied for funding and like, yeah, my first few months in prison, like I was conscious about the food, right? Like I read like the Inside Time, which is like a prison newspaper, and they always talk about like the food and how each meal's worth a few pence. I was like, and how it has no nutritional value. And then like I'm just like I'm looking at my surroundings and I'm seeing prisoners overweight and with like spotty faces. I'm like, hold on here.
Did you know that about the food when you were in prison?
Only when I read about it in the Inside Times.
So then what did you do about that? Let's talk about prison food. I get it. And I found it really tough. So yeah, I'm really interested to know how you dealt with it once you know the knowledge.
Yeah.
And what you did.
So I applied to do a nutrition for physical activity level 3 course. Got the grant, and I studied that course in my cell. Like all the workbooks were sent.
Level 3 nutrition?
Yeah, for physical activity, yeah. And that taught me the game, you know, around nutrition, like in regards to macronutrients.
Okay. Yeah.
And like, yeah, the breakdown of carbohydrates, what are simple carbohydrates, complex, and like what protein does and its benefits, and the how can I say, different types of fats, you know. And like to pass that test, there was like there was a tick, what was it? Like a test where you got to tick a box
like
out of
multiple choice.
Multiple choice.
Yeah.
Multiple choice, yeah, that's it. Ended up passing that. And then like also you had like an assignment to create a diet plan.
Mm-hmm.
And so I created a diet plan from the canteen sheet.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, because I was like...
Oh, the
prison canteen sheet.
Not the savory.
Yeah. The prison canteen sheet. Because I was like, oh, it's all great, like, create a diet, like, if I was free, but like, I'm here now, let me make this happen. So, like, yeah, you already know, like, in regards to the canteen sheet, it's like, yeah, there's a great selection of sweet snacks, processed food, but like, yeah, when it comes to the fruit and vegetables, like, yeah, there's limited choice. And then like, in regards to proteins, you know, the tin, fish, mackerel, etc., etc. So like, yeah, once I understood again, like the benefits of greens and all the minerals and vitamins and the different type of greens which provide different type of minerals and vitamins, like, yeah, I was able to structure a really great diet plan from the limited choice that I had.
So can you throw some ideas out for people listening? Like, what would it be?
Yeah, so like, in regards to like my first meal would be oats.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I'd have the oats with some chia seeds, like a teaspoon of chia seeds, some sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds. Obviously the oats being carbohydrates, releasing like energy throughout the day. And like it's higher fiber, so it curbs your hunger. And like the seeds were like healthy fats, so they're great. And like, yeah, they also like the chia seeds clear out your gut and good for gut health. And I had a scoop of protein powder in it.
You had the can. What did you think about that?
What?
The protein on the canteen sheet.
Yeah, like every prison, like I went through different prisons, and certain prisons sold different type of protein shakes. But
I swear,
like I stayed far away from the mass gainer one.
I never found a good protein powder. But you reminded me about the seeds and stuff like that. I never even ventured out. It was like just tuna, couscous, and like.
So I really broke, like, as I said, I had the diet plan, and I had like 3 different type of meals I'd probably eat throughout the day. So like that was my breakfast more or less. And then when I went to a prison that was allowed eggs, I would have eggs with avocado and cherry tomatoes for breakfast, etc., etc. And then like for my lunch, so I started to like, I used to always read Men's Health and anything around like nutrition and sports and stuff. And I realized there was like a big debate, propaganda around white bread and like how it caused like led to like obesity and many other issues around health. So like I stopped eating white bread and I replaced that carbohydrate with Rivita. Yeah, that's available on a canteen sheet. So it's a whole grain bread. So I started to understand like, okay, like when it comes to carbs, complex carbs, like you need to get as close as possible to the grain. So I used to just have like a few slices of Rivita for lunch and like have a tuna and some tomato. Yeah, that would be like my lunch boxed off. Again, like every time I have a meal, I try to just keep it balanced. Like have the protein, have the carbs, and have some sort of like, fresh veggies, fruit, etc., etc. And then like for dinner, it would either be like a legendary mackerel whip up or like take a chicken leg that the servery offer and like cook that, re-whip that, etc., etc. And yeah, like I used to just follow a strict diet, stay hydrated, eat fruits. I used to drink green tea as well to speed up your metabolism. I went through phases of intermittent fasting, so I wouldn't eat till lunchtime. That would be my first meal, and then I'll stop my last meal by 8 o'clock. So I used to follow like a 16-hour fast, 8-hour eating window protocol, and that helped me like get really stripped down. And yeah, like once I got into the groove of things, it just became natural. And then like once I stripped myself down, like get like trim, ripped, like shredded, like they say, like I inspired like prisoners, should I say, like every prison I'd go to, people would always be like, yo, like, how you so ripped? How you so in good shape? Because obviously, like with a natural prison like look of someone going gym, they're really like bulky, so like I was coming across different. And then like I basically like printed out my diet plan and just gave it to so many prisoners, took a couple prisoners through like some transformation, some body transformations, even put on prison officers.
Wow.
And like even one prison, I even like helped the governor lose some weight. So like, that's when I realized, okay, like I've got motion here. Like I started thinking about release and like, oh, I could do this and like come into society and help people lose weight, how people get fit, how people get in shape. And I was like, yeah, okay, this is the route now.
Wow.
It's making sense.
It's incredible that you put it in place, watched it work, and then now you've got a potential future, Yeah. When you start putting things, you realize what you're good at, and that's incredible. You can see that kind of like snowball effect.
100%. Like it was like being good in this space was one thing, but I enjoyed it. I feel like that's very important as well. So like, obviously when it comes to like coming out and like finding a career path and going through that transition, should I say, like, okay, like I came out and I had to get into traffic management to like earn money upon release. But like I had a plan. Obviously, I was studying, doing personal training at the same time. So like I knew, okay, like I might not be doing something I enjoy now, but like when like I'm sticking to the plan. So when I do become qualified, I can go into a space I enjoy. And I feel like that's very important, you know, doing something you enjoy, having a plan, and like, yeah, it just leads to inspiration.
Can we talk about the name Resilient Lion and what it means, where it came from?
Yeah. So like, yeah, I say like a few months before getting released now, like I got my plan, okay, I'm gonna come into the fitness space, etc., etc. And like I already made my decision like early in my sentence that I was gonna leave like my past life and like my so-called nickname, which like I basically, I don't know, built a CV around related to the street life and added so much things related to that and added so much value to my nickname. But I realized like with the path that I'm going down, that's gonna have no value. So I was like, okay, I need to go through a rebranding. And the word resilient was like a word that I came across a lot when I read books throughout my time. You know, I used to read a lot of autobiographies and self-development books. And the word just resonated with me, you know, like in regards to like, look, like in life you face challenges, adverse situations, but like don't fold, you know, don't break. And I feel like that's my journey, that's my life. It represented me very well. And like in regards to the word lion, like in the Old Testament, obviously I was reading the Bible a lot. God describes his children as lions. So I was like, yeah, like that's resonating with me as well. So I kind of like put it together, like resilient lion. And like I was a bit like, at first I was like, ooh, like is it gonna sound a bit too cheesy, like or whatnot? But I was like, nah, like you know what, like it means something to me. You know, it's a name with a purpose. Like whereas like my nickname on the roads, like didn't really have no purpose, meaning to it. So I was like, yeah, I'm going with it. And today I live by it for sure.
What does that mean to you to have left that old name, nickname, street name behind, and you have this new like identity now?
Yeah, it means a lot. And like, yeah, just going on to identity, it's like, yeah, I was put in a position where it was like, I'm taking a risk, like going by a new identity. But I feel like it was important. Like it was all a psychological effect, you know, like knowing that I'm leaving that past life behind and going into a new chapter, a new character with like a righteous purpose. And that's what really drove me, you know.
When you say risk, you mean because it's just completely different to what you know?
Yeah.
Is that exciting? Was that exciting?
Yeah, it was exciting. It was obviously a bit nerve-wracking at first, but because I was just like confident, you know, I had a plan. You know, yeah, I was confident and I knew I was gonna come into the fitness space, like seeing the fitness space even grow within the culture in London was even amazing to see and inspired me, you know, because obviously, yeah, like hindsight, 5 years ago, I don't think the fitness scene, the space was like how it was today, you know, in regards to like, just like people coming from disadvantaged backgrounds or different cultures coming together and embracing fitness, like, especially with running, like seeing people of color run, that was like, I never saw that growing up, you know.
What is the role of fitness, faith, like all of that right now? What does it all mean to you?
It means everything. It keeps me grounded. Yeah, honestly, it keeps me grounded. Like faith keeps me humble, you know, and like I embrace gratitude every day, you know. Like it's not about like stressing or being depressed about what you don't have, you know. It's about really like honing in into the moment, and being grateful for what you do have. especially like coming from our position, we've had our freedom taken away from us. So like simply like, yeah, being able to walk out your house when you want to and go to the park and embrace nature. These are big factors. And like, yeah, fitness, it just cultivates like that mindset, you know, of like being disciplined. Like discipline is so important in life. And like when I'm reading successful people's like stories, like they highlight that factor so much. And like you can win it all or gain it all in life, but if you don't have discipline, you can lose it all as well. So like that's what fitness does for me. And like on a day where I'm having a bad day, things ain't gone great, like having a workout can just like balance everything, you know. And like, as you know, like the natural high, the endorphins kicking in, helps me sleep at night. Like, yeah, man, I'm all for it.
Love that. And you are right. It is such a growing thing right now. You've come into like a really good space with it. Can you talk to us about what you do now? So Freedom Through Fitness, CIC, what is it?
Yeah, so it's a CIC, a charity-based, non-profit organization, which is led by ex-prisoners. It's co-founded by me and my good friend Connor, who have both been to prison, like I mentioned at the beginning of the interview. And like our vision for it is to roll out programs within the community, helping the youth not make the same mistakes as we did, and like kind of being there as like being there as a model of prevention, you know. And like the program involves like obviously fitness, mindset, and identity. And also we have plans to work in the prisons, which has already started, to kind of like help prisoners who've already obviously made the mistake. They're in that situation.
This is who it's for, right?
Yeah. They're in that situation and they want to change. So like we're providing a cure, you know. So yeah, that's kind of like the focus: prevention and cure. Working with the youth, working with prisoners, ex-prisoners, and just using our lived experience to our advantage, you know. At the end of the day, we've been through what we've been through. So like, yeah, let's really make an impact where it matters, you know, where there is no hope. And we just want to use our stories to inspire and use our, like, how can I say, experience and knowledge and fitness to help people become the best version of themselves. Yeah, that's the plan for sure.
And what about long-term goals with yourself and with anything else that's going on alongside Freedom Through Fitness? Is there anything else on the cards?
So yeah, I'm in the process of creating a platform called Open Door, which hopefully can shake up the prison education system. This platform will allow prisoners to develop modern skills, right? This could be around AI, coding, digital marketing, like entrepreneurship, many other, how can I say, elements, and allow prisoners to do these courses when they're in prison, and develop like a dynamic CV, and they like get rewards and incentives for passing these courses, and basically collaborating with other corporations, businesses, which kind of like could create a pathway for prisoners to like do these courses and come out and become employed and do something that they want to do and inspires them to like break the cycle of reoffending, you know, because as you know, like the reoffending like rate is really high right now.
So what would you say to people right now that are stuck in that cycle?
You got to educate yourself. Yeah, you got to develop a skill, which doesn't involve criminal activity, because like the whole point of transitioning is like becoming legit and contributing to society, you know? So like, if you want to be an entrepreneur, like figure out where there's problems in the world and provide a solution, you know? And like, and if you want to like go into any space, sector, like master your craft. You know, it's never too late to educate yourself. Like whether you don't have like GCSEs or whatnot, like there's still other ways you can go around, you know, getting a degree. So education is the key, you know, and yeah, like also like rewiring, reprogramming your mindset. If you've like kind of, spent a lot of time endorsing street culture, like, listen, honestly, it's going to only end up three ways, and that's like death, jail, mental health. So the quicker you come to that understanding, the better, and like the better chance you have of like, like making something out of your life. Like at the end of the day, like being in prison is not the path, it's not the way, and like, you don't want to leave it till too late, till like you're 50 and you realize like, damn, I threw my whole life away, etc., etc. So yeah, that's what I'd say.
Thank you. And also on Life After Prison, we like to signpost organizations that can help. So were there any that helped you?
Yeah, for sure. Shout out Focus Fitness. So this is an academy, education-based, which allows people to basically do the course and become personal trainers. And like, it was a game changer for me upon release. I only had to pay £50 to do the course because they're government funded. You don't have to pay the full balance until you earn a certain amount. So like I feel like for people leaving prison, like, that's a big shout out there. And make contact with them if you do want to tap into the fitness space.
I love that. We'll put these in the show notes. Also, Untapped, they combine fitness coaching with entrepreneurship training for disadvantaged and justice-involved young people. Also, Exo Bikes, they train and employ ex-offenders as bicycle mechanics, providing prison-based training and post-release work opportunities. So again, we'll put those in the show notes, so check them out there. We also asked you guys a question, and I'm going to ask you this as well. What's one small habit you developed since release that's made a big difference?
Being consistent.
I like that.
Yeah, being consistent, man, with whatever you do, you know, whether that's training, working out, whether that's turning up like to your job, to do your job, etc., etc. Like just being consistent, eating clean. Consistency is the key, you know, to success. So I feel like that's it right there.
I love that. I should answer as well, shouldn't I? One small habit that I developed, I'd say consistency is powerful. Working towards my goals all the time. So I don't think my goals get bigger and bigger and more and more and more. And I think as long as I'm working towards them every single day, even if it's tiny things, it might be something that I'm just not doing very well at, or I don't have the skills in, or whatever, just working on them. And there's loads that I'm working on.
100%. Just on that note, it's like, I read one book which really like helped me in prison, called The Power of Now. Have you heard of it?
I'm reading it.
Oh.
I'm actually reading it. We actually got recommended that book on the pod from Mr. Abdul Bangora, and that's what inspired me to go and pick it up and read it. But it's an amazing book.
Amazing, honestly. And like, literally just teaches you to embrace the moment, you know? At the end of the day, like, can't go back in the past and you can't definitely predict the future, but like, taking those little steps every day and like building up to like the future is what it's about. So The Power of Now is definitely a game changer.
I love that.
A great book to read.
Anybody listening or watching, pick up that book. So you guys somebody said anything going on at home is 1,000,000 times better than being in there. And I think that's so true. When you're around your family or the people you love, it is just where you want to be. And also adjusting my thinking to be more positive. Just like that book will show you as well. So please keep getting in touch with us. You can do this by DMing us on Instagram and Twitter at AfterPrisonPod. TikTok is Life After Prison Pod. Email us at podcast@prison.radio. And if you're inside, we will put the number at the end of the show. So contact us via that. Isaiah, thank you so much for joining us today on Life After Prison.
It was a pleasure, honestly. I appreciate it.
It's been a great conversation, so thank you. And everybody for listening, we'll see you next time.